Hey, what is going on, guys? I hope you're doing well. Now, in today's video, we are going to be walking through the U.A High School box on TryHackMe. Now, this box should be a bit easier for beginners, and I hope you guys do learn at least something from this video. Now, YouTube, this video is for educational purposes only, so please do not strike me whatsoever. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that you guys have your Linux and that you already have access to your VPN from TryHackMe. Now, if you guys don't, you can go ahead on TryHackMe, and you should see a little button at the very top. It says Access Machines, and it should guide you through on how to access your machine. Now, once you are connected to your VPN, you can go ahead and open up a terminal. So we'll increase the size of it. Now, we're going to go ahead and scan our machine. So in this case here, I'm just going to type sudo, then we'll do nmap, then we'll do -s, and a capital S, and a CV, and we'll do -n. I'll just go ahead and paste in our IP. Go ahead and enter in your Kali password if you're prompted. And we should give us a moment here. Now this should go ahead and just give us a quick basic scan of what's running on our target. And there we go. After a while, looks like we have SSH, and we also have HTTP that's also running on our box. Now, as this is an HTTP server, we know that there's probably a website on it. So let's go ahead and we will open up a browser here. Now we'll just navigate to our IP and we'll do :80. Let's give this a second. And it looks like here we just have a simple website. Let's just click through a bunch of these. We'll see what we have here. Now we have a little contact page. One thing that I'm going to take yes on is that they have the assets folder. Now this is usually where you store your style.css or your script.js, or in pretty much just basic scripts. And so what we're going to do is we're going to use a nice command called dir search. So dir search should allow us to automatically go ahead and look through the site just for some more info. So we'll go with a new terminal here. Now if you do not have dir search installed, you can go ahead and install it via apt. So sudo apt install dir search. Now in my case, I already have it installed. So we'll go ahead and we'll type sudo dir search, and we'll go ahead and do -u for the URL. So it's http:// and followed by your machine's IP, and we'll do /assets. And why don't we do /index.php, because that was the main page. And go ahead and hit enter. Enter in your sudo password if you're prompted. And now we're just going to wait a moment. So it should go ahead and try to find some other hidden directories and stuff that's on our page. Okay, and it looks like it's been a while, and it looks like we went ahead and we found a page here. So if I'm just going to take this extension here, and we'll go back to our browser here, and let's go ahead and just take a look at it. So our machine here is 10.10.94.60:80, and then /that. Go ahead, and it looks like here we get a little base64 string. So one that I do notice up here at the very URL here, it says cmd is equal to dir. So if I type, let's see, if we type ls, looks like it executed command on the machine itself. So now this is really interesting. So what I think we should do is we can go ahead to this nice, wonderful web page called revshells.com, and we're just going to create a reverse shell. Now for other systems, this may not work. But for this machine here, we should be able to create a reverse shell back into our machine. Let's go ahead and enter in our machine's IP. So if you're on Kali Linux and you're connected to the VPN, up in your top right, you should see a bunch of little numbers. And so that should be your VPN IP. So for me, that's 10.2.20.55. Now the port, me personally, I like to run things on port 4444 for my reverse shells. So we can do that. So we'll just go with a simple Python reverse shell. So I'm going to go with Python 3 and its reverse shell number 2 here. Go ahead and copy that. Perfect. And now back over here, let's open up another terminal. And we're going to start a netcat listener. So this is going to allow the machine to connect right back to us. So we can just type nc for netcat, then we'll do -l for listen, then v, and then np. And we'll just go 4444. Perfect. And now up here in the URL, we'll just remove the ls and we'll put in our reverse shell. And there we go. We now have a connection right back to us. So if we type who am I, we can see that we are www-data. So now what I'm going to do is spawn an interactive shell with Python. So we can run this little command right here, and we'll go ahead and hit enter, and perfect. Now we should have access to a better shell. So if I type clear, right, it says term environmental variable is not set. So you don't have to do this step, but me personally, I like this because it makes it a lot easier. So let's go ahead and we'll just navigate through the box here. So we can type ls. Okay, and let's go back a little bit, let's see what we have. And why don't we go to our home folder? So we'll go cd/home. Let's see. We have Deku here, wherever that is. So we can cd Deku. And let's see, what does he have? And he's got the user flag. If we type cat user.txt, looks like we get permission denied here. So we'll clear our screen, and why don't we go to /www/ let's see what we have here. We got hidden_content. So what if we go to hidden content? It looks like we have passphrase.txt. So that seems a bit interesting. So we'll just cat, and then we'll do passphrase. Okay, looks like we have a little base 64 string, this looks like. Oops. So we can copy this. And so let's go ahead and we're just going to try to decrypt this. So in a new terminal here, we'll increase our screen a bunch. We'll just type echo. Oops. Yeah, so echo. And we'll put in that string. Then we'll do a pipe. And we'll do base 64-D for decrypt. So we can keep note of that. Let's see what else we can find on our machine here. So let's go ahead and try to check the cron tab here. -L. Looks like we don't have any cron jobs. And so one thing that I do want to try is to try to at least become higher up in our machine. So we want to escalate our privileges to a user standard. So you usually go from www-data to a user, and then from user to root. Now there are some cases where you can go straight to root, but that's not usually that common. So let's go ahead and we'll cd into /var/www, and we'll go /html. And let's look at that assets folder that I saw earlier today. So inside here, we just got some simple little files. So we'll cd assets, and let's see, we got images and we have index.php. Now if I just cat index here, okay, we just have some interesting stuff. So this is the code that they use to run the command listener that we exploited earlier. So let's cd into images. So let's go ahead and we'll just, I guess, download these images here. Let's see what we can try to find with them. So go ahead and open up a terminal here. And increase your screen a bit. So we'll just type wget quote http :/ followed by your IP here. And we'll do /assets/images. And why don't we go with one for all? I'm gonna do that. Oops, one for all. .jpg. Perfect. And we're just gonna run the same command, but we're just gonna go with the last one here. yuei.jpg. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and we'll try to use text editor here. So hit enter here. And let's just try to fix this up a little bit. Now we're gonna go ahead and edit our picture here. Now this is something a little bit more advanced, especially for me, that I actually had to Google this because I wasn't too sure what I was doing. Now, however, what we're trying to do is we're trying to put this back into PNG format. Now, it looks like there was an issue when they converted the data here, which created it into a JPG. Now, either they put it through some conversion software or something like that, which is what corrupted the data. So I'm just doing a standard little change here that you guys, I would recommend you look up on Wikipedia, as it really is quite factual. Pretty interesting, honestly. And now, once you edit it, we'll go ahead and we'll press Ctrl X, and we'll go ahead and hit enter, and perfect. So now, if we go ahead and we run steghide here, this time we'll run it on the JPG, we'll enter in our passphrase, and there we go. Looks like we have fixed the data correction, and we should be able to now run cat and then creds.txt. I'm thinking we could use this to now switch and try to log in to the server with SSH. So we'll clear, and we'll do SSH and Deku, and then we'll do @ and we'll supply our machine's IP. So for me, it's 10.10.94.60. Hit enter, and it's going to ask if we want to save our fingerprint. I'm going to go ahead and hit yes, and we're going to paste in that password we got, and there we go. If we type who am I, we can see that we are now Deku. And so we'll clear our screen, and we'll just type cat, and we'll do user.txt, because we know we're in this user folder. And there we go, we have our first flag. Amazing. Okay, so now the first thing that I usually do once I connect to a machine is that I always check to see what's going on in the machine. So what I like to do is I like to check the cron tabs, and then I like to go ahead and check to see what I can run with sudo. So we can just type cron tab, then -L. It looks like there's no cron jobs that are running for Deku. And so we'll just type sudo -L. And so enter in our password here, and now it looks like Deku is allowed to run sudo on opt/new component/feedback.sh. Now this is really interesting to me because we may be able to write to this file, which will allow us to change the script to escalate our privileges. So let's go ahead and we'll just type cat, and we'll enter in that path here. And this looks like it asks for feedback here. And one thing that I noticed here is we have eval, and this will pretty much run this command here, echo, and then money sign feedback. So we may be able to allow us to run as admin. So we'll put this on the side here, and we'll open up a new terminal for our machine. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to generate a keygen file. So what we'll do is we'll just type ssh-keygen and hit enter. And why don't we go ahead and we'll just save it to /home/Kali/desktop, because I like everything on the desktop. And we'll do, how about ID Deku, and we'll just hit enter. And now the passphrase, I guess we'll go with no passphrase, that's fine. Perfect. And there we go. We have now generated ourselves a nice public key that we could hopefully upload to the server. Now we have here on our desktop, if we type ls, we have a .pub file, which is right here. Now we need to go ahead and upload this to our server. So on your machine, go ahead and type python 3-m for the module, and we'll do http://server. Hit enter. Now on the Deku machine here, clear our screen, and we'll just type wget, and we'll do http:// and now this will be your machine's IP. So for me it's 10.2.20.55:8000, because that's the port we're running on. Then we'll do slash and put in the name of that file. For me is iddeku.pub. Go ahead, hit enter. There we go. So if we type ls, we should have it uploaded to the server. So we can clear this. Alright, and now once this is on the machine, what we can go ahead and do is we'll just type cat and then iddeku.pub, and we'll go ahead and just copy this. Perfect. Now we will clear our screen, and what we're going to do is we're just going to run sudo, and we'll just do this script that we have from before. So what we want this to do is try to pretty much print out our authentication key right into a nice little file in the authentication folder. And so what we're going to do, we're just going to go ahead and take what was in our iddeku.pub, and we're going to add on a greater than sign, and we'll do /root.ssh/authorized_keys. Go ahead and we'll take that, and we're just going to put in the feedback here. Perfect. So now we should be able to just run ssh, then we'll do -i, and we'll do iddeku. Now this here is not the .pub. You can just do root at your machine's IP. Hit enter and give this a moment. And there we go. If we go ahead and we'll type who am I, we can see that we are now root. So we'll just type ls and we'll do cat root.txt. And now we are the #1 hero. Amazing. So we'll go ahead and we'll just copy that. So now how exactly did this work? So if we go ahead and let's just cat our script that we ran here, because we're running this as sudo, we are now able to do whatever we want. So we are running this code here, and echo here is going to print out whatever we say. So we just say echo, and then we went ahead and put in our key, which allowed it to say echo our key, and then the greater than sign, and then into the authorized keys. So that allows us to pretty much just add our key straight into our file, which gave us permanent access to the root user. And there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I need to go watch My Hero Academia since I've never seen it. And so I hope you guys enjoyed. If you learned something, please make sure to like and subscribe, as it really helps it a ton. And go ahead and join the Discord. It's in the description. And I'll see you guys all later.